Hey, welcome to Dimmo's 10-Minute Tech Pitch, the podcast where, in 10 minutes or less, you can get the skinny on all of the latest SaaS technologies. If you're unfamiliar with Dimmo, we are a platform that allows you to go and watch demos whenever you please, so you no longer have to jump into sales cycles. And you can check that out at dimmo.io. I'm your host, Troy Munson. Today I have Adi Hagag from Metadata.io, and what he'll do is go over how they leverage and can build B2B audiences to use across multiple different channels when you're running paid social campaigns. With all that being said, let's bring on our guest. Adi Hagag, welcome to the show.
Hello, great to be welcomed. Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. Very familiar with metadata. But before we do get into the features and functionality of metadata, I've got to ask, who are you and what is the backstory of metadata?
So, who am I kind of ties into the backstory of metadata in this case. I'm the GM of MetaMatch, which is the self service motion of metadata. We have two product offerings, product suites, one that serves very much the higher end paid social teams in the market, and our self service can serve anyone that does B2B on any capacity. How I tie into metadata is kind of interesting. I was a full platform, like I was a client for 2 years before I joined metadata. I used the higher end product,
Oh.
and Gil and Jason, they kind of put a challenge to my lap and said, "Do you think that you could release MetaMatch to become a self-service motion that will be a business unit on its own?" I said, "Heck yeah!" And here we are.
So it sounds like it was at first, it was the full product where you help companies on the social aspect of advertising, the full platform, but then they brought you in to run the self-service motion.
Yes. So metadata, the full platform, what we call the demand hub, does four core things to you, but all of them achieve the same goal, which is better pipeline for less cost. The how of it is by taking care of the audiences, the who that you target, by taking care of the bidding portion, the optimization of the dollar that you pay the native channels, the ability to do all of your campaigns cross channels. So as long as the eyes are good, I don't care if they're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, whichever gets me the cheapest conversion. And the fourth thing is the attribution, the ability to take care of all of that data, push it into Salesforce, sit between Salesforce and push it into your marketing automation, your CRM, between your marketing automation and CRM and the native channels. When I was a client of Metadata, I was a director of growth at a company called Optimove. I was looking for exactly that. So most of my targets were constantly on Facebook and Instagram, which means LinkedIn is nice, but it's where they would go
Yeah.
after they're no longer at their place of business.
Yeah.
So it was very clear to me that I needed something to do Facebook, Instagram at scale and completely multi-channel. When I was
Got it.
successful as a client, it was very easy to kind of see how this would make sense as a self-service motion as well.
That's incredible to see it evolve over the years from this full platform to, hey, you know what? We can probably get more people in here if we just let them use it at their own leisure. Now that the product has evolved and you're solving these problems anywhere from targeting the right people to proving that you're actually driving pipeline revenue, like you mentioned, what are some of the main use cases or even some of the main challenges that customers would have today that would get them to look at something like a metadata?
Yeah. You could end up with the metadata from any one of these four core challenges. In an ideal world, you have a strategy and you're thinking, how can I take the social channels and make them adhere to my strategy? That's the 40,000 foot view of it. Rather, I can talk about tactics and features and audiences and optimizations and budget groups. All of that is nitty gritty. The point is, as a B2B demand gen marketer, you cannot rely on the native channel to own my pipeline. It's just not the
Yeah.
type of relationship that we have. I gotta have a way to hack the native channels.
So it sounds like when people are struggling with the native channels and probably missing their KPIs based on the fact that, I don't know, I believe they only optimize the CPL. It's probably a somewhat of a big challenge just relying on that channel when you can probably take it a step further.
Yes, that's absolutely one way of ending up at a solution like metadata is tending that the old ways of optimizing towards metrics. I don't have a problem with that, those metrics per se. They're good as an compass, as an indicator. But at the end of the day, you must tie it all back to bottom line.
Oh yeah, the bottom line is more important than ever these days. Which, talking about the kinds of challenges companies might have to look at metadata, is a good segue to what kind of companies typically experience these challenges. Another way to ask that is, who would you describe as your ideal customer profile?
If we're talking about the full demand hub, right? Demand hub is a, a serious machine for serious budgets. So Demand Hub allows you to make your entire paid social efforts be more of a proper scientific method experimentation process.
Mm,
How can I create a fully detailed A/B test? I can until I can make sure that the prescription is working to the patient, right? So Demand Hub is a better fit for anyone that would have at least $40,000 in their monthly social spend, because the value of multivariate and multi-iterative experimentation grows exponentially higher the more experiments you have, and the more budget you have, the more experiments you
yep.
have.
Yep.
Now, MetaMatch is kind of our tool for everyone, the tool for the
Mm,
masses, because every B2B marketer needs a way to do B2B on Facebook and Instagram. When we launched it,
mm-hmm.
had you told me that 25% of the MetaMatch client base would come from B2B manufacturing marketers, I wouldn't assume that would be the case. But here we are. Like quarter of my
Wow.
clients are actual factories targeting other factories because they need something on Facebook and Instagram because their targets are just not on LinkedIn.
Okay, so the demand hub is for people that are spending a decent amount, at least 40K, to be able to make that machine work a lot smarter on channels. But MetaMatch is for really any B2B marketer that wants to open up Facebook and Instagram as a channel to actually target those personas across LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram.
Yeah, multi-channel
Got it?
marketing. Create an audience at one place and then target that audience wherever they are. If that's the right director of IT I'm targeting, I am I want to say I don't care where they are. I do care in the sense that I would like that my messaging would be. So if they're on Instagram, I would like it to be more of a brand awareness, cool type of video that gets my name
Yeah.
in the door rather than your classic lead gen form on LinkedIn. But I honestly don't care. I just want their eyes of the right people.
Yeah.
That's how I see MetaMatch.
Got it. And so tell us a little bit more about the product. If I have challenges and I can't target well on Facebook and Instagram, how are you solving for that?
Yeah. So custom audience is in a nutshell the answer. You provide us with either a criteria or an input, meaning you want to target these people, or you have this list on your HubSpot or these accounts on your Salesforce, whatever you want, and you want to target them wherever they are. We create those custom audiences on your end platform, so you never need to upload excels onto the native platform.
Hmm.
We give you custom audiences that they're just ready to launch a campaign.
Awesome.
So to anyone that runs a paid social, this would mean that you can now do retargeting. You can now create unique journeys to your clients. You can
Hmm.
now target specific funnel stages with specific types of messaging rather than here is my evergreen campaign. Good luck.
Okay, that sounds really interesting and actually extremely helpful. So, last question for you. If I'm a marketer and I'm evaluating metadata today, but I'm also evaluating other vendors that might be doing something similar, what's the one reason I'd go with you above the competition?
I think that above all, because we were built primarily for demand gen marketers, there is no concept of credits if we're talking about MetaMatch specifically. You're not buying records. Once you buy 20 cents a record on whomever, that's one side of it. The other side of it, that it puts you at a murky GDPR water, like all of those data trafficking excels
Hmm.
that you're uploading here and there. It doesn't fly really nice with an org that does their legal seriously. So metadata A doesn't have any model or concept of credits because you're never buying data records. There's
Mm.
never going to be this Excel that you're downloading and that's it. You bought John Doe's email. Like, it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
So both of
got
these
it.
things are solved for really nicely.
That's really nice that you don't have to buy those credits. Love it. Well, Adi, thanks so much for being all on the call today. If you're listening and are interested in metadata, easily find them at metadata.io. If you like what you heard and you actually want to see this MetaMatch product in action, you can join Dimmo's ABM Demo Day on February 13th. Metadata kicks it off at 11 a.m. Eastern, and there will be 5 other vendors presenting. But that's it for the show today. I'm Troy Munson. We'll see you next time on Demo's 10-Minute Tech Pitch.
Looking forward to seeing you, everyone.